And we're back. Yes, thank you very much. What's happening, everybody? It's Wild Card Wednesday. Call me now. 773-304-4072. Thank you very much, everybody here joining me. What's going on? Thank you, everybody, joining me here in the live fake studio, my live fake audience. Thank you guys very much for being here. Yeah, give yourselves a little bit of a cheer. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get it started. I hope everybody's ready. It's going to be a wacky day. It's Wild Card Wednesday, as I am affectionately calling it. Normally, we do Hump Day Happy Hour when I go live on my daily fake talk show, The 420 Report. But today, I'm running a little bit late. And I didn't really prepare a whole lot to rant and rave about. I kind of got it all out of my system yesterday when I was going off on the stupid bank that my wife and I used that would not cash her savings bond. Oh, hey, right on. People joining in already. What's up, Billy Buchanan? Willie Farrell's here. Good to see you, buddy. And hopefully we're going to be doing some shows on the road here real soon, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hell yeah. Give me a call. 773-304-4072. Billy says, wait, it's actually 420. It is. I'm running just a little bit late. We had first week parent-teacher conferences, and we got a call coming in right now. Willie Farrell is here. What's up, my man? I'm going to stop that. Willie Farrell, can you hear me? Yeah, there we go. There we go.
All right.
I gotta get the speak. I got like 16 things going here trying to create my live fake talk show. Ladies and gentlemen, watching live right here with me, we've got the one, the only, get in the trunk himself, Mr. Willie Farrell, one of my original comedy mentors from way back in the day. I don't know if you realize that or not, Willie.
I really don't. I've been covered up most of my life, so any meaningful conversations I've had, I've forgotten most of them. I am glad, and like I said, I've been watching you over the years, and I just love how you conduct yourself and how you do business and how you've got a passion for it. It's every time I see you or hear you, it kind of lights the fire under me because you're exactly what this is supposed to be about.
What do you mean by that?
I just mean that the passion you have for everything you've got, it's inspiring. It makes, there's times when I say, I got to go on the road, I got to go do this. And then I watch you and you'll be playing, a great big place, or you'll be playing for two people and you still bring it every night. And it makes me go, you know what? We're lucky to be doing what we're doing. God, let me pick it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I always wanted to avoid when I was in my come-up years, and I'm still learning from greats like you that are veterans of the stage that were doing it well before I was doing it. I consider someone like Willie Fratto-Farrell to be a bridge builder, and I'm just grateful and lucky enough to be crossing that bridge. And I remember when I was in, when I was traveling around and I was featuring, when you're the $100 opening act guy, and you're just trying to figure your way around this fucked up industry that we're in.
Yeah.
I would run into some of these guys that have been doing it for maybe 15, 20, 25, 30 years. And a lot of them had this like bitterness about them. Like, oh, I never made it. I never got my chance, this and that. And I'm like, I never want to fucking be that way. I always feel like if you get on stage and you have fun, the audience will have fun with you, and you'll never have a bad show. Any comments about that?
You know, yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I know it's a saying that's been said a million times before, but let's be honest. The worst day in comedy is better than the best day I ever had at a real job. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just, how can you... I never understood comedians that on stage could be brilliant and off stage could be so fucking tattered and so, you know, upsetting. Johnny Bush worked with a guy not too long ago that basically was a guy with a certain amount of his success, but was just upset about what didn't happen instead of, you know, just relishing what does happen and what did happen for him. And I feel that way too. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm 63 years old. And I told myself at 30 that, you know what, once I can't pay my bills or do whatever I can, I'll get a real job. Well, I'm still kicking it here. So, you know.
Hell yeah, man. And, you know, I think that was one of my biggest motivating factors in trying to push it as hard as I can and going wherever I could to get in front of an audience, whether that meant, you know, doing comedy Wild West shows back in the day at Adventureland out in the street 5 times a day in 100-degree weather while you're wearing 16 pounds of guns and leather, or whether that means you're getting on stage at a dive bar for only 2 people. Yeah. My biggest motivation in pursuing this with a passion was just not to go to that fucking 9-to-5 job, which in my opinion is like day jail.
Exactly. You know, and the thing is that you treat every show the same, and that's why you're good, is because you treat every show the same. It's not like, well, this show they make more so they get more, or this show, you know, I'm gonna mail it in because it doesn't cost anything. You always bring it, and that's why you're a good comic, and that's why they can tell.
Hey, I sure appreciate that, man.
Fair enough.
Thanks, buddy. I sure appreciate that, and. You know, that means a lot to me coming from someone like you who, when I first started out, I really looked up to. And one of the reasons why I look up to Willie Fratto-Farrell is that he localizes and customizes his show for each and every audience. So you can go see the Willie Farrell act, and it's not even an act. It's just you being you, doing what I said earlier, having fun with the crowd.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's it. It's you know, a part of I think what we do is you've got to keep yourself motivated. And it's not that I don't like my material. People want it, I give it to them. But I find it interesting. You know, if ever comes a couple shows in a row where I don't think that I'm funny off the cuff, I'll go back to the material. I'll always give the best show I can give. But I've just been lucky enough to where you know, when I just go at it organic and let it come. I've been fortunate in that I've kind of figured it out to a certain degree, I guess.
Yeah, and you're really, really good at it. You know, I love watching that improvisational, spontaneous, fly by the seat of your pants style.
You know, I mean, I've seen you work. You got the same thing going. So, you know, hey.
Yeah, you know, and that's, like I said, that's a skill that I tried to hone and develop over the years from watching you. A while back, I had a talk with another comedian. And a point was brought up that if a comedian gets on stage and they are doing a lot of crowd work, or they're doing a lot of improvisation with the audience that night, that there are people that think that means they don't have an act. What would you say to someone like that?
I would say if they're not funny and people aren't laughing, that might be true. They don't have an act. But you know what? If somebody says that to me and I go out and kill just playing with the crowd, well, tell me what I did wrong, because our only job up there is to make sure that everybody sitting down has a good time. There's no set rules that says you've got to do this many jokes per minute or this many jokes per hour. All it says is entertain these fuckers, and if they have a good time, if they walk out of there having a good time, you've done your job. You know, that's the comedy police, which I fucking hate. These people that don't like. People always say to me, "What kind of comedy do you like?" I say, "I like funny comedy." You know what? Yes. I like Carrot Top. I like fucking Jeff Dunham. I like guitar acts. I like it fucking all. If it makes me laugh and it entertains me, that's fine. And I like a guy that can get up on stage, and if he can keep a fucking crowd going just off the top of his head, I like that too. Now, if you're the comedy police that say, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, fuck you. That's all I say to them.
I love it, man. Absolutely. You know, I've been to a lot of comedy shows, either whether I was on stage that night or just enjoying watching the show, sitting in the audience. And I've not once ever have I been hanging out when the audience is filing out the doors and someone laughed their ass off. I've never once ever heard someone say, you know what, man, I laughed my ass off tonight, but that comedian just made it up completely as he went. I want my money back. Not one time have I ever heard that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll never hear that. So it's the fucking comedy police. They're out there. They have a certain set of rules, and you know what? If you don't listen to it, you just go and entertain the people. That's your job. That's your only job.
Absolutely. Just keep it fun and keep it interesting.
Yeah.
And keep it funny.
Yeah.
Keep it funny. And now here's go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, I agree 100%. That's your only job is to entertain by any means possible. It's almost like a Malcolm X, by any means possible. Yeah. There you go.
I love it, man. Okay, so here's another question that I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Isn't it so cool that in this day and age that we have access to things like Facebook Live videos and YouTube and everything? We can reach an audience online. That has been a game changer for me. But these tools weren't around when you were first coming up. Go ahead.
You know how to do it too. You figured out how to get to the people. That's what makes it so fantastic. Is that you know how to reach it. I'm like an old caveman. You know, it's funny. I had a young comic with me not too long ago. I took him on the road with me, and first thing I did was I got in the car. I said, "You back when I was starting off, you know, you called the booker from the phone that was hanging on the wall. He told you an address. You looked it up in the Rand McNally. You jumped in your car. You drove there, and if you couldn't find it on your big fucking map, you pulled at a gas station and hoped it was open. You better have a quarter." And and the kid was just like, "My God, you're like Lewis and Clark." I said, "Yeah, fucking ain't right, man. I was like Christopher Columbus." So yeah, you take advantage of what you've got, and you've done that, and that's why you're rolling, baby.
Yeah, and I can't imagine having to go on the road now. And I had to do it in the very first. I started out before cell phones and smartphones were even a thing. But it's very quickly, it's like maybe 5-6 years in, we had cell phones. Yeah. And I can't imagine what it was like trying to figure out, navigate your way to the next gig, yet at the same time having to pull over, find a payphone, dump $10 worth of quarters into that fucker to do your radio call in.
Yeah. Or trying to find the club, the comedy club. And you better hope that the guy that runs the club isn't at the fucking club, because otherwise all you're going to get is an answering machine. So I mean, yeah, it was a crapshoot all the time.
Oh man, Willie Fratto-Farrell on the line with me right now. I didn't know what was going to happen. I honestly had nothing prepared to go live today, so I was like, what the hell? I'll hook my speakerphone up. I'll see if somebody calls in. We can chat it up. And how freaking cool is it that it was Willie Fratto-Farrell calling in? One of my heroes from when I very first started.
Well, you're my hero too, buddy. I like I said, I love your passion. I love what you do.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And hey, we've got to do some shows together. I think I've got something in the works. And you know me, man. Cool. I will keep hustling until I make it happen, because
I know you will.
The Dogfather comedy show, the combination of the mighty JerDog and Willie Fratto-Farrell going back to back, flying by the seat of their pants, improvisational, spontaneous, localized, custom material. That's definitely a show you could go see twice and see two completely different shows.
Go see it 3 times. It'll change every time.
Absolutely. And that, that's one of the biggest complaints that I've heard from audience members or venues or booking agents or club owners is that, they got to keep rotating the comedians through in order to keep the material fresh. Well, why not just find guys that you like and love and trust and have a lot of fun with that just do it different every single time? What's wrong with that?
There ain't. That's why we'll do it.
Hell yeah, baby. Give him the big old Godzilla roar. I got this sound effects machine now hooked up. What do you think of that?
It sounds like you got a dinosaur in there. It sounds like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's what it was. That sound effect was called the Godzilla roar.
I love it.
How about this one?
How you doing?
There you go. That's Joey. Actually, it's every Italian guy on the south side of Des Moines too. So yeah.
And then if you ever hear this, Willie will probably be hauling ass out of town.
I am the law.
I am the law.
I didn't get that one.
You got a dog in the background.
I didn't get it. You're cutting out.
I probably am. I got too much. You should see this contraption I got hooked up right now, and my microphone is fake, but I can still do the echo on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for my caller today on the 420 report, Willie Fratto-Farrell. There you go. The live fake studio audience really liked you, Willie. As do I, as do the viewers online. I haven't even answered any questions or gone into the comments at all. I just had so much fun talking to you, bro. And I can't wait to do it again, man. I didn't know what was going to happen, but one of the best things that possibly could have happened. And that is what I think is so cool about being in the comedy industry is the cool people that you meet, the cool places that you get to go to, all the new friends that you have and make along the way. I could not be more blessed and more grateful. And it all started, I don't want to say it all started. I had the idea before that. I did a lot of crazy, obnoxious shit just to get on stage. But I remember I opened up for you when you went to Central College in Pella, Iowa. And I was just starting out, and I go, hey, man, do you need an MC for They go, hell yeah, we need a host. And I went up and did it, and I did okay, like doing 5 minutes. And then I introduced Willie, and then you worked the crowd like you normally do. And you'd always bring it back around to me with like a comedy tip in the moment. And at that time, I remember I had a shaved head. I was real skinny. I looked like a Q-tip on legs. And you go, dude, you're really green. I can tell you're an amateur, but you got a goofy look. You'll be fine.
There you go. Honesty is the best policy. Now you're an old goofy-looking guy. You're still working. There you go.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. All right. Hey, I'm going to let you go. I got to wrap it up. I sure appreciate it, Willie, and I will be in touch because we are going to be bringing the Dogfather comedy show to some kick-ass venues very soon.
Cool, buddy. You take care.
Yeah, you too, man. Let's hear it for Willie Fratto-Farrell, everybody! I'll do another Call Me Now live video. Again, maybe I'll try to do that a little bit more often. I've been able to hook the phone up before, so maybe I should try. I don't want to say every day. I don't want to make that promise, but maybe more frequently than I have. Hook the phone up, take live calls right here while I'm doing my live fake talk show. The 420 Report. All right, thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Nadia, Larry, Jeremy, Sarah, Greg, John, Donovan, Beverly is here, Michelle, Laura, Mad Mike, holy moly, Mad Mike Walker joining in, Rebecca, Matt, Don, Mama Chief Baker, Mama Chief, Linda, Michael, Jody, Larson, Kool-Aid Man. I think that was the Kool-Aid Man that was trying to call in. Deb, Ron Poole, and of course my guest call, Billy Buchanan. Woohoo! 2 days in a row. Billy Buchanan and everybody, especially my live caller my live guest caller, Willie Fratto-Farrell, throwing down some wisdom and some words of inspiration. If you're watching on the replay, you're not going to be able to call in. I mean, you can dial the number. You're just going to get my voicemail. But you can leave a comment on the voicemail if you want. Maybe I'll even play that on a live video. Leave a comment below. I'll try to get to all of them as soon as I wrap up here. Let me know where you're watching from, and I'll let you know when the JerDog Comedy Roadshow is coming to your area soon. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow for another edition of the 420 Report, my live fake talk show at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That'll be tomorrow. Normally, I go today I went at Central Time, but that's because I had shit going on. We had our first day student parent-teacher conferences at my son's school, so that took up a little bit of time, but I made it, and how much fun it was. So once again, kudos. Thank you. Kudos to Willie Farrell for calling in, and thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow, 4:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or as close as possible. Until then, Dog Bless America.